LRT let down. What the city is saying today about the transit system's freezing rain pitfalls after the damage done by yesterday's weather event gives riders deja vu. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. For many transit riders, OC Transpo has some explaining to do. Damaged wires near Lee Station, presumably associated with the freezing rain, has taken the eastern stretch of LRT offline. But those who use public transit were hoping for the best in spite of the forecast, thinking that the city would have learned from the last time this happened 3 years ago. Viewer video captured the moment when the wire on top of a train started sparking during the wet weather before a small explosion caused it to break. OC Transpo can't say what exactly caused the arcing, but says it appears to be weather-related. Special de-icing treatment was put on the wires, but wasn't enough to stop 2 trains from stalling. Here's Interim General Manager Troy Charter explaining the repair work.
So there's a whole bunch of inspections and tests that need to happen in order prior to that has to happen prior to powering it back up. But there's about a 60-meter length of OCS wire that needs to be replaced. On other parts of the line, because we weren't able to continue running through the event, they need to focus on ice removal.
Crews are seen throughout the day repairing the lines. There will need to be a safety sign-off before trains are back along the full line. For now, replacement bus service is in place. Meanwhile, today is also recovery mode in West Quebec, with the ice storm knocking out power to thousands. In fact, some Gatineau schools had to close because of it. The outages are impacting pockets of Quebec stretching all the way past Montreal as well, and roads and sidewalks in Montreal are reportedly very slippery even today. Residents and travelers are advised to be on high alert. Hydro-Quebec met with Premier François Legault earlier today. Before lunch today, more than 12,000 customers in Montreal were without power. Across the river from us in the Outaouais, that number was higher at more than 17,600. Public servants may be feeling powerless when it comes to the future of their employment. But today, the unions are responding to the Treasury Board of Canada's latest announcement that they will disclose the impact of the government's cuts on Canadians. The Secretary of the Treasury Board made that announcement on Tuesday, so according to him, Canadians should soon learn which programs will take the biggest hit from the feds and their cost-cutting review. The union president for the Public Service Alliance of Canada suggested she isn't buying it.
If Prime Minister Carney's government isn't prepared to honestly lay out what programs and services will be impacted by these cuts, we shouldn't consider this an expenditure review. It's a reckless hacking exercise. The size of the public service should be determined by meeting the needs of the people it serves.
The Treasury Board Secretary says departmental plans for programs affected by cuts should be tabled in, quote, the coming days. Drivers right across the province still reeling from the sudden spike in gas prices.
Not too good. It'd be nice to be able to keep that, that extra little bit of money in your pocket right now.
It going up so quickly is kind of interesting, right? Like, how can it affect fuel that's already been made already?
I do worry that this could go along. The longer it goes on, I worry that it gets worse. And then I would be concerned coming to the pump.
Here in the nation's capital, many stations had prices still posted above $1.50 for a liter of regular today. It's a dip from many prices being close to or slightly above $1.55 in the last 48 hours, but experts say the relief could be short-lived.
Until the Strait of Hormuz, in one way or another, becomes a reopened channel to allow 20% of the world's oil supply to begin safely navigating those channels back and forth on a daily basis, we have a serious, volatile situation in our hands that we need a quick solution to.
And just today, the new supreme leader for Iran vowed to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed, also suggesting the missile strikes and launches will continue. In the meantime, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is heading to the U.S. for trade talks.
This week, I'll be heading to the United States to stand up for Canada and Canadian workers. First stop, Michigan, where I'll meet with auto leaders and state legislators to defend an integrated North American auto industry and fight for tariff-free trade
In addition to Michigan, Poilievre will be heading to Texas to meet with energy industry executives. He will also be speaking at an event in New York hosted by the Foreign Policy Association. High school students across the province are continuing their walkout campaigns to protest the Ford government's cuts to the student loan program.
People deserve to have access to higher education, no matter what class they come from.
These students at Maryville High School are just one example of what has been playing out in the city and across Ontario recently. Many of these teens are in agreement that changes to funding will prevent them from being able to get a post-secondary education. A 22-year-old from Alfred, Ontario is now facing serious charges stemming from allegations that started back in 2024. But Ottawa police say it was just yesterday morning that they were able to execute the search warrant and make an arrest. The investigation involved members of the Internet Child Exploitation Unit. The suspect accused of using nearly a dozen different online usernames. Police have charged Joshua Christopher Corput with things like child luring, making sexually explicit material available to a child, distributing sexually explicit materials, and inviting to touching. Full details and a list of potential usernames are available on our website. The alleged incidents would have taken place between March and December of 2024, and police believe there could be more victims. When it comes to finding things criminals try to hide, Ottawa police do have a secret weapon. Her name is Piper, an electronic storage detection canine trained at finding digital devices officers sometimes miss. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with more. Katie.
Well, Piper is a 2.5-year-old black lab. She's trained to find things like USBs and cell phones, even air tags. Here's a look at her in action.
I can tell she's in order because she's looking. And now she has to find it. Show me. Yes, good girl. So she pointed right at that panel when I told her to show me. Pointed her nose there, and what we have in here is an SD card.
So there's a chemical used when these devices are manufactured to prevent overheating, and that's what she's smelling, something we can't. She's worked in the Ottawa Police Internet Child Exploitation Unit since November and accompanied police executing 7 search warrants so far.
And a lot of these people hide these devices from us, but also from their family members. So when we go in there to attempt to find these devices, it makes it problematic when they are trying to conceal it. So Piper comes with us through these search warrants. She searches the rooms with us, and she detects on the hidden devices. Pretty much on every single one of them, she's indicated on something that an investigator has missed. So she has been very valuable to us.
Piper is also a therapy dog, providing comfort and emotional support to victims and to those in the unit. The detective says even he can be surprised by what she's able to find when something is so well hidden, including something in a ceiling tile. Piper also has her own Instagram page, so you can follow her when she's on and off duty, and we have a link to that on our website. Stefan.
Very impressive to watch Piper work. Thank you, Katie.
You're
CTV's
welcome.
Katie Griffin reporting live for us, and apologies for the technical issues with the microphone. Coming up on CTV News at 5, discussing public transit with CFRA's Christy Cameron as she surveys her listeners for what bothers them most about OC Transpo. And our Jackie Perez is live at a special event for us tonight, honoring one of our colleagues, Jackie.
That's right. Tonight is all about honoring Bill Carroll, celebrating his 10 years here in Ottawa. And, you know, temperatures right now, not quite spring-like. We've got some cold front that has swept through the area this morning. It brought light flurries. It brought gusty winds as well as much colder air. So right now here in Ottawa, it's about -5, 2 degrees, or about 1 degree in Trenton and Kingston, -1 along Brockville. Still some light flurries moving through eastern Ontario, and it should subside by the time we get to the evening. Mainly cloudy skies, overnight lows about -8, but tomorrow we're warming up to -1. Keep an eye out, though. By the time the afternoon rolls around, snow is on the way, probably likely in the afternoon moving into Sunday, and combine that with strong wind gusts, it could affect the evening commute. These details and more, and I'll look at your long-term forecast in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's a live check on traffic right now on the 417 in the westbound lanes. It's slow going from Parkdale to Woodruff. Eastbound is slow from St. Laurent to Innis. If you're headed out to Orleans on the 174, there's moderate to slow volume from the Split to Montreal Road. You're watching CTV News at 5.
You're watching CTV News at 5 with Stefan Keys.
Far side pass, and it's a early shot. He scored!
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. Customer confidence in OC Transpo taking another hit yesterday. The Confederation Line's eastern extension went down around Lee Station due to damaged wires. Today's radio question of the day asks, are you worried about the future of Ottawa's transit system?
What bothers me the most is we cannot get answers about why the system is constantly failing. So until the city understands what the problem is, how can we move forward?
Christy Cameron is here with more. And Christy, I love talking to you about this topic because you are a public transit user yourself. So you have firsthand knowledge of what it's like to be on that system. How are you feeling about the future of Ottawa's transit system?
Well, I think that I'm feeling pretty weary and pretty confused because there are some big, bold, massive question marks in my mind about this entire system. Let's start with what Tim said there. We have the spalling issue on the pre-existing Confederation line. That's the metal flaking inside the cartridge-bearing assembly. We don't know what the root cause of that is. We just know that it's bad wear and tear and that we're trying to replace the parts. So that's my first question. When are we going to solve that and what was the cause? Number two, how are we going to extend Ottawa's transit system, the LRT, all the way to Orleans if we don't have enough train cars to test it? We don't even have enough train cars right now to run the current system. And yesterday we had the sparking and the cables coming down on the Confederation line. So, you know, I love a can-do attitude, but I don't really understand this profound optimism from the city of Ottawa that we are ready to launch the next phase of Ottawa's LRT to the East End. I fail to see what that is based on here.
Right, and the message from Troy Charter, interim general manager for OC Transpo, it really feels, and I feel for him inheriting this system, that it's trust us, it's coming, we're working on it, we're close, but it doesn't feel like we're close when we're hearing the same message for a couple of weeks now. I
have to point something out that I also found very confusing and maybe a bit odd today. There was a conversation about potentially revisiting this 100,000 kilometer adjustment. So these are the cartridge bearing assemblies that they remove when they hit 100,000 kilometers. They were pulled from an abundance of caution. They said, we don't want to run these trains. Today, they were kind of, you know, loosening that up a little bit, saying, maybe we revisit that. What is that based on? Is that because we don't have enough trains to test the Eastern Extension? We're not bringing them back just to do that, are we?
My goodness, running out of patience when it comes to public transit. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy's segments anytime on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel. Coming up on CTV News at 5, hopefully you were one of the early birds. Blues Fest prices going up. Details shortly. Here's what you need to know. Take in a celebration of music by famed Broadway composer Andrew Lloyd Webber. The Music of the Night concert tour is happening this Sunday at the Algonquin Commons Theatre. Showtime is 2 p.m. Visit their website for tickets. Taking another live look at traffic, you can see that it's slow going in the westbound lanes around Woodruff Avenue. St. Laurent flowing well in both directions at this time. We'll be right back. Coming up later tonight on CTV after the news, E-Talk starts at 7. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage at 7:30. Next Level Chef at 8. Then 911 Nashville at 9, followed by Grey's Anatomy at 10. Now let's head back over to Overflow Brewing Company. That's where we find Jackie live for the roast and toast for Bill Carroll tonight, Jackie.
Yes, Stefan, the doors open at 6 o'clock, so it's a little bit quiet here, but within the hour in our 6 o'clock newscast, it's going to be bumping. So take a look. If you are out and about today, again, if you don't put away your winter jacket, because Mother Nature is reminding us that winter is not quite done yet here in the capital. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where it is -4 degrees right now. Mainly cold, windy, gray day here in the capital, showcasing Parliament Hill, as well as downtown Ottawa. Closer look at what we can expect for the next 24 hours. Partly cloudy skies. -5 is what it's going to be about 9 p.m. And then it's about -7 for the overnight. But it's going to feel closer to about -10 when you head out tomorrow morning. We're going to catch a little bit of sunshine between 7 and noon. We've got strong wind gusts coming from the southeast, gusts between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. And here's the thing, by the afternoon, a clipper system will be bringing a few centimeters of snow beginning Friday night and will continue into early Saturday morning. So combine that with some gusty winds, it could make for lower reduced visibility in terms of when you are on the road. So keep an eye out for this. Now, 2 o'clock, parts of the Seaway, Kingston in particular, Bancroft, Renfrew, we're going to start to see those flurries moving in. The snow's really going to pick up around 7 p.m. Friday for most of eastern Ontario, going to carry us well into midnight. It's going to start to lighten by the time we get to Saturday morning, 7 a.m. So don't be surprised if you have to clear your driveways and your cars. So allocate a lot of time for this if you are planning to travel and hit the roads for our Saturday morning. Taking a closer look at the Seaway temperature-wise, -11 for that overnight. There is the possibility of some freezing rain mixed in with ice pellets, but mainly cloudy skies. 0 is the daytime high. Partly cloudy for the Seaway, -9. Mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. The daytime high is 1 degree. Taking a closer look at the weekend, yes, temperatures are going to hover around the freezing mark. Quite a chilly overnight Saturday, -12 into Sunday. And that is not a mistake, folks, on Monday. Double take, we're going from -2 to 17 degrees, but that will be short-lived because Tuesday we're getting back down to -3.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
And we again are at Overflow Brewing Company celebrating Bill Carroll and his 10 years here. Patricia Bowl, you are here as well. I'm slightly taller than you.
Tall you are. This is incredible. She's cheating.
They're seeing my cheat right now that I'm on this. But what is your role in the 6 o'clock hour?
So we are going to be emceeing a wonderful Bill Carroll roast marking 10 years. A lot of people have a lot of things to say to Bill. I spend a lot of time listening to him. This is the chance to talk back, give it back to him a little bit and have some fun, but also, of course, pay tribute to an incredible radio talent that we are very lucky to have right here in Ottawa.
We look forward to that. So we will get you along doing your hosting duties. I will shrink a little bit. Stefan, we'll take it back to you in studio. We'll see you in the 6 o'clock.
Sounds good. I wondered what was going on there. First time ever, Jackie Perez taller than Patricia Bull. We'll see you soon, Jackie. And here's a look at the stories you're checking out right now on ctvnewsottawa.ca. If you head over to our website, currently all of our top stories, our digital team has been working hard to provide full details on that, but also the icy conditions and the impact of that freezing rain yesterday. Take a look at this image. 2 truck rollovers here in eastern Ontario. The details are here. There were separate instances of trucks rolling over because of the icy conditions. These images provided by Ontario Provincial Police. They were happening on Highway 7 near the 417. So again, it was very slick yesterday.
And early on, he busted off a couple of big runs and also had a big catch.
Yeah, coming up, footballer Braylon Addison signs a 1-day deal to retire with the Red Blacks. Stay with us for that. Here's what you need to know. Take in an Ottawa 67s game next Wednesday against the Oshawa Generals. This is a March break matinee game. Puck drop is 3 p.m.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The temperature right now, -4. And here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
On other parts of the line, because we weren't able to continue running through the event, they need to focus on ice removal.
The ice storm creating a doozy of a problem for OC Transpo. We look into where the system stands today.
The reality is that crime has changed faster than the laws and processes that police rely on to investigate it.
As police deal with increasingly complex crimes involving artificial intelligence, proposed legislation aims to give investigators more power. We'll have more on the latest attempt by the Liberals to pass a revised version of their bill.
It was this, and I just couldn't breathe properly, and that's when I called 911.
Plus, a scary moment and quick actions likely saved a woman's life nearly 10 years ago after a blood clot in her leg moved into the lungs. Many in her situation undergo treatment using blood thinners. We'll have details about research comparing two common medications for the condition. Now, the final 5 other local stories we're following today. Blues Fest is posting a price increase alert. The summertime favorite is set to welcome artists like Gwen Stefani this summer, but early bird pricing is set to end for a full festival pass. It's going up from $329 to $349. The new pricing kicks in Friday at midnight.
0-2 in the air, to left. Here comes Owen Casey. And for the first time in its history, Canada is headed on to the World Baseball Classic quarterfinals.
It's a historic moment for baseball in this country. Team Canada is set to take on Team USA in the quarterfinals of the World Baseball Classic tomorrow. Canada advanced at the tournament for the first time ever with a 7-2 win over Cuba yesterday.
And early on, he busted off a couple of big runs and also had a big catch.
Braylon Addison is hanging up his cleats. The 32-year-old wide receiver has signed a one-day deal with the Ottawa Redblacks and will retire with the team. Originally from Missouri City, Texas, Addison appeared in 32 games over 3 seasons with the team from 2023 to 2025, recording 139 receptions for 1,530 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Stutzla as Giroux knocks it down on the boards, got it in tight. Panthers, another chance, scores!
That goal by Tim Stutzla gave the Sens a 2-1 lead in the first period last night, but Montreal came back with 2 more unanswered goals. The final score 3-2 for the Canadiens. The Chateau Montebello, a nearly 100-year-old resort between Montreal and Ottawa, is now officially for sale. The previous owner, a Chinese-based company, was forced to liquidate its assets after racking up tens of millions in debt. No minimum price has been set. The final sale is targeted for late July. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join us for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National starts now.